All right, so we're going to talk about our last thing here, the Extra Life event. We actually, it's a little surprise. We didn't mention that we had a game jam going throughout the entire Extra Life event. So that went on, and we created a game.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so when I first figured out that we were doing Extra Life, I was like, hey, might as well get a few people. We are a game development school after all. So we wanted to make a game over the course of the 2 days. We spent 10 hours on each day, so it was a 20-hour project. Start to finish, we did all the assets, so what you're going to see is all created by students, so people here at Guildhall that I recruited. So I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, when we get into the game, I can explain more about what it's about. But
Sure. So where did the idea come from? Where did it all start?
So it's actually kind of funny. So one of the guys, Justin Peterson, on the Dawn team, which is one of the capstones, he just came to me because he knew about it. So I was like, well, what do you want to do for the jam? And he's like, well, what about a game where you have to see who mows the lawn the fastest? So then it kind of just went from there, and now we have an awesome gnome mowing game. So
what is it called?
It's called Mowin and Throwin.
Mowin and Throwin. That's an awesome name.
Yeah.
And I guess we're seeing it now on the screen.
Oh, okay, cool. There it is.
So maybe you want to walk through and see what they're doing.
All right, so they're jumping into the game. So each team has a lawnmower that they were able to select in the menu. So we have one of 4 different types of lawnmowers. As you see, they're going really slow, but they're mowing their lawn. So as you watch the mowers slowly cut the grass on the lawn, they also have gas, so you have to fill up the mowers to keep it going. So essentially, like I said, the object of the game is to see who mows the grass the fastest. So we kind of revolved all the gameplay around that. We have gas that makes the lawnmowers go. So obviously you want to keep your lawnmower going because that's the most efficient way of mowing your grass. You've also got ways of making the other team have more grass. So you've got like Miracle Grow, which we call it, which will sprout the grass in an area over time. And then as the mower mows, it'll drop these bags of grass that you'll probably notice, like right there, you see one.
Yeah.
The guy can go pick that up and throw it to the other side, and it'll spawn a big chunk of grass. So
that looks like a lot of fun. So why did you want to create a party game? That's something that Guildhall doesn't do. So. Yeah,
that's true. I think for like game jam purposes, so I've done a couple of these kind of weekend game jam projects. I've pretty much figured that party games are the most fun to make because they're always goofy and hilarious and fun to play. And then also just because they're pretty low scope, you can keep it like to a Mario Party game like we just saw. So like that kind of a thing.
So talking about the scope, how many people were involved in this game jam, and tell me more about the departments and where they came from.
So I think there's about 15 people involved all across. They weren't necessarily there for the full 20 hours. They were on and off. Some of the people were there the whole time. We do have like a list of credits that I would like to bring up at the end of this stream if we can, so that we can at least recognize everybody who helped.
Sure.
But yeah, so it was about 15 people, like on and off.
People.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
If I got the number right, I think so. something like that. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah.
So when I'm watching this whole gameplay, it kind of reminds me of I talked to you earlier, but it's like a reverse Splatoon.
Yeah.
So instead of painting the level, you're getting rid of it. So you're getting rid of the grass, and with little power-ups and all that. So yeah.
Yeah. So actually, the guy just threw it. So you see the little number on top of the Miracle Grow. That's kind of like a fountain of grass. So like it'll sit there, it'll start sprouting grass in an area, and so you want to mow over it because it'll keep spawning grass if you don't. Yeah, so that just pointing out that mechanic. So, but yeah, like reverse Splatoon, like you got it pretty spot on with that one. I think I don't know if we ever actually thought of Splatoon while we were making it, to be honest, but it just seemed like a fun idea.
So what were some of the challenges we had during the game jam? Like what did you run into that we saw that caused you some problems?
Well, let's see. So the art, I think, was a big scope. One of our dudes did all these animations for the characters. His name is Lee. he modeled the gnomes, he animated the gnomes, and that took him pretty much the entire time. So like that took an artist like offline for the entire project, so that was pretty huge.
But they look awesome.
But they do look awesome. They
They
definitely worked out. I think it was worth it, to be honest. But other huge challenges like the throwing arc that you see that they're doing, like that took a lot of time to get in. Ben Gibson, one of our other programmers, I think it took him an arm and a leg in order to get that in. He got taken offline for a lot of that. And then just straight up getting the lawnmowers to work. Regan is behind us. He worked on it too a little bit. And that was a pain. That was a real pain to get. Fortunately enough, we ended up getting it mostly working. So there's a game-breaking bug that you'll probably notice when this game is over, when they've mowed their lawns completely. But that's okay, because you wouldn't be a good game jam without a game-breaking bug. So
Yeah,
that's okay.
I mean, that's so worse. So thank you. Do we have a name for the donation? So thank you, Anonymous, for donating $20. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So let's see what. So the mowers. You said there's different types of mowers. Why did you want to do more than just two? So
there you go. Yeah, red team won. So as you can see, it's a pretty exciting game. It gets pretty heated as these 2v2 games go.
So here we see the process of restarting.
Here we're going to see why this game is the best game
it's the
ever.
Best game, yeah.
Because it's so good that you actually are reminded like what time it is, so it kicks you to the desktop.
Okay.
So you can look at the bottom right. You can see like, okay, you've been playing for 30 minutes.
Playing for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That makes
so
sense.
totally intentional.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep our players in mind whenever we made this.
That is great.
Yep. So okay. Well, they just skipped past it real quick,
Yeah.
but there was a lawnmower selection. You could pick the different ones. I think your question was why.
So why did you want to do multiple lawnmowers?
Well, one of our other artists, Prassi, I think he's doing his master's thesis on vehicles.
Okay.
So that ended up working out well for us because we were like, Prassi, what do you want to do? He's like, oh, I want to make these awesome lawnmowers. And we're like, okay, well, you need to take this like all the way if you want to.
Yeah.
So he did take it all the way, and he made us four. And originally I was like, well, if you want, we can like skin them differently. You just have like one model and then just skin it 4 times or whatever. And then he came back like a couple hours later, and he's like, all right, I got 4 different models. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So he gave us 4 different lawnmowers, so that just
it gives
enhanced,
you that
I think,
extra charm and customization to the game.
Yeah, no.
In a game jam, that's very impressive.
Yeah, no, that was really fun to do. The houses were made by Ashton and Bill. That was kind of a combined effort. Ashton textured it, so Bill modeled it and then unwrapped it and delivered it to Ashton, who textured it. Ashton also did the parachutes and the box that fall down, and the grass. And you see there's some awesome like wavy grass going on. Like it's hard to see, but you can see it in the menu more visibly.
Oh yeah, like
it looks like the wind is like blowing through, so that's really cool. And then the infamous barfing rainbow sun in the background. Like I was gonna try to not mention it the entire time, but I'm going to anyway because it's so hard to miss. That was done by our great level designer Andy and a combined effort from Kevin. So that is our main set piece back there.
Yeah.
Our defining characteristic of Mowin and
Barfing rainbow sun, yeah.
A barfing rainbow sun. Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's something else, I know.
Yeah.
So you can also, for the gas, you can either hit it and get gas with the mower, or you can pick up the gas and throw it to your buddy. So like, if you really wanted to strategize, it gives you the option to kind of, split off.
Yeah.
One guy can be mowing, one guy could be like gathering
gas and
throwing it at you, and then you can keep going.
So
you can also
strategy.
Yeah, no, definitely. It has a lot of potential strategy involved for both players because you can get on and off. So it doesn't limit you to like one guy has to mow or one guy doesn't. So that's one thing that we wanted to make sure we did was both players have the option to play either role if they wanted to, or get on and off the mower if they want to.
Yeah.
So you can also cut the grass with your manually. So in case you run out of gas or something, or you just get bored, or you're on the last tile and the mower's like on the other side, we wanted to give you the ability to cut one piece of grass, which you just spam Y, because we wanted to make it hard for you to do, and you also cut one piece. So yeah, so it was really good. That ended up giving some players essentially a way of contributing if they're not on the lawnmower, if they wanted to start cutting grass as well. So
yeah, that gives you a lot of options too, or at least 2 options.
Yeah, either cut grass fast or cut it slow. There you go.
Yeah, this looks really fun. You can just keep watching.
It is really. I know. I just want to like watch it because it's so mesmerizing. Oh yeah, blue team won. So, as you see, the game still plays. So even after a team.
Yeah, you can keep playing.
Yeah, you want to watch the parachutes just fall after the ground is over. You can do it. I mean, we don't want to limit you, right? So
yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be playing another, but it looks like they are. So cool. So they're just gonna remind you that there's a clock, remind you what time it is.
What time?
9:42. Yeah.
We're doing good.
Just ignore the fact that Hey, actually, could you tell them the next time they're done playing, could you have them bring up the credits so we could just credit everyone? Cool. Yeah, I just want to make
now
sure.
we're seeing new.
Oh, nice. So they're selecting their lawnmowers, so they got like, I don't know if you want to like name them. I haven't like thought of names or anything, but it's like we got a purple one and we got this like crazy green one that says like chaos on the front. It's pretty awesome. It's got like a big like snowplow thing. It's really cool. And then so Justin was our particle guy. Oh, looks like someone accidentally clicked our magic button. They're going to the credits. Okay, cool. So
here we have some.
So yeah, Bill Hood, environment art. Ashton Malty, Mario, you helped. You made the awesome logo, and what else did you do? Flamingos, right? Yeah. They spin around the player's head when they get stunned. So if they get hit by an object, they'll get stunned. So Lee did our character's animation, Prassi did vehicle art, Mai did our awesome UI and awesome menus. Andy and Kevin, both our designers, they did scripting and systems. Particles and VFX, Justin. So we have the gas, we have the grass blowing everywhere, we have the explosion and stuff. Our programmers, we got Brian, who's normally a producer, but he wanted to do some programming tasks for this one, so he did some of that. Young, Regan, Ben, Clay, all of our other programmers. They programmed stuff. No, so Young did a lot of the game mode stuff. With like the timers and all the systems of spawning and stuff, and he helped out with that. Player select. Regan helped with the lawnmower at the beginning. He helped with the grass tiles. Ben Gibson helped with the throwing mechanic. He did a lot of like support for different things like animations and sounds. He helped a lot with that. And then Clay was kind of our awesome guy who just came in and did a lot of everything. So it was really awesome. Yeah, it was really cool.
It looks like those people came from all different cohorts. Mm-hmm. So we had cohort 25 and 24.
Yeah, 24, which is what I'm in. So I'm graduating in December, and then we've got you guys in 25. So I wanted to do a project with like 2 different cohorts because I don't think that's really been done. And so in my mind, when I wanted to make this game, it was like, well, let's kind of make a capstone with like 2 different cohorts, and then just have a fun time doing a project. So.
Right. Would you do this all over again?
Definitely. Oh, it's fun. I mean, obviously, I think you have a really cool product at the end of it. And then we had a great time working on it. With these things, you don't really care much about what ends up coming out of it. Like, you do it for the experience. And I think because you're kind of in it, just because you're passionate about it, I think, at the end, it usually ends up turning out good.
Yeah, and it definitely shows the quality and the skills that students here at Guildhall can do in just 20 hours was the game jam?
Yeah, so it was 10 hours on Saturday, and I think we did about 9 or 10 hours today, so it was about 20 hours to get this done.
To have a game this fun in 20 hours, that is incredible.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
It's really awesome. I'm definitely super proud of it, and I think everyone's proud of it. And even when I was when we were finishing up the project, I was like, all right, guys, thanks. I think it turned out really awesome, and Clay was like, even if it didn't work, I still would have had a good time. So I think in the end, it's all about the fun of creating games,
right?
Which is why we're here.
Right, that's why we're here.
So
we're going to continue watching this game. 'Cause it's looking like they're having a lot of fun.
They're just going to keep playing forever.
We're going to keep playing forever.
So yeah, you got your grass bags that'll explode. So your anti-grass essentially. You want to spawn it on the other side, and then the Mowin.
Any plans for the future of Mowin and Throwin?
You asked so soon, Mario. Not currently, but I think this is something that honestly I would touch again if I had the opportunity. I think it's good enough for kind of what we wanted it to be, which is like a portfolio piece, kind of to show employers like, hey, we like doing this outside of school, essentially, and then we can make it fun too. So.
And we even raised $20 right now during the segment, so contributed to the extra life event.
That's good. That is awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, with these things, like sometimes you really just are kind of like churning them out. But I've been looking lately with like these kind of game jams to maybe take it to the next level if one of them turns out good enough. Which I think this one was really good. I was sitting down with the guys over there, and I was like, guys, like if we spent like another month on this, like I think this could actually turn out to be a pretty fun game. Like,
yeah, and like we keep saying, it looks really fun just by watching it. So I can imagine how it is when you're actually playing it.
Especially the barfing rainbow.
Yeah, best part.
He does that every time a care package falls. So like every time the care packages are falling, he spits rainbow.
So it actually does have functionality in the game.
It does. It actually means something. Like whether or not you want to believe it, it does. It does mean something.
That's awesome. It looks like Red is taking the lead right now.
Red is taking the... Oh, Red's almost mowed. No, they're almost done. They got a couple more. Oh, but the Miracle Grow...
They got one more.
Miracle Grow's about to... Oh! They almost... Looks like Blue's really catching up here. They got their mower going. This is so awesome. This is an esport.
Yeah, let's just start commentating on this. Look, Blue...
What a comeback. That was great. Oh my goodness, who would have thought mowing lawns could be an esport? Yeah, we managed to turn mowing into fun.
Mowing and throwing and going.
See all those times when you're like your parent asked you to go out and mow the lawn, like
yeah, you actually get to.
You thought it was like boring, right?
Yeah.
No, look, it can be fun.
It can be a lot of fun.
Mowing can be great.
That is awesome. All right, so that's all the time we have for the Game Jam Mowin and Throwin. As you all can see, it was a really fun game to play. People creating the game had a really fun time. And again, this was only a 20-hour project.
Yep, 20 hours.
That happened while we were doing the Extra Life event, created by Guildhall students. Mm-hmm. So it was a lot of fun to work with you guys.
Oh yeah,
and
it was awesome.
It was a lot of fun to see it now. It looks like you said it could be the future esport.
Future esport, mowing.
Yeah.
you got Mario's awesome logo right there, mowing and throwing.
So we're gonna pass it on to Max and Andrew to close us off for the Extra Life event 2016. Thank you all so much. Pass it on to Andrew and Max.